we find?
Don't you wanna go? Don't you wanna?
A stage where legends once reigned, where music pulsed through the hearts of millions, and where a cultural revolution unfolded right before our eyes. But beneath the dazzling performances and historic moments, a dark twist was waiting in the wings. Why did one of the most iconic music shows in history vanish overnight? What really happened in that final broadcast that left audiences in shock? The rise and fall of Soul Train is more than just a story about a TV show. It's a journey through power, influence, and a moment that changed everything. Back in the early 1970s, Chicago became the birthplace of a movement. Don Cornelius, a visionary journalist and MC, saw the gaping void in the entertainment industry, a space where black artists struggled for visibility. The mainstream music scene refused to give them a voice, so Cornelius built one himself. Against all odds, with barely any funding, he created a show that wasn't just about music. It was about identity, pride, and a revolution in sound and style. Soul Train premiered in 1970 on a local Chicago network, and from the first beat, it was electric. Unlike anything seen before, it was raw, soulful, and deeply rooted in black culture. Every broadcast wasn't just about entertainment. It was about shaking the foundation of an industry that had long ignored an entire generation of talent. The show quickly outgrew its humble beginnings, and by 1971, Cornelius made a daring move. Soul Train was headed to Los Angeles, and the world would never be the same. The city of dreams welcomed Soul Train with open arms, and suddenly, a television program became a cultural movement. This wasn't just a show. It was a gateway for artists who would go on to define generations. Stevie Wonder, Curtis Mayfield, and Gladys Knight graced the stage, launching hits that would become timeless. Then there was the moment that redefined dance culture, the Soul Train line, a phenomenon that turned ordinary people into icons, where individuality exploded in a mesmerizing parade of movement and self-expression. It wasn't just a dance, it was a statement. But the magic of Soul Train extended beyond the beats. The fashion, the style, the energy, it all screamed rebellion and freedom. This wasn't just television, it was a declaration that black culture was here to stay, unapologetically bold and breathtakingly beautiful. Each week, families gathered, not just for the music, but for a reflection of themselves in a world that often refused to acknowledge them. It was more than a show, it was a lifeline. Yet, like all icons, Soul Train's golden era couldn't last forever. Behind the scenes, Cornelius faced battles that no one saw coming. The industry was shifting, trends were evolving, and the empire he built with his own hands started to shake. By the late 1980s, hip-hop was taking over, ushering in a new wave of artists. Soul Train tried to adapt, welcoming legends like Run DMC, LL Cool J, and Public Enemy, but the landscape had changed. Still, Soul Train pushed boundaries, introducing the world to new sounds and dance styles that would dominate the future. From the electric slides of the disco era to the popping and locking of the breakdance movement, the show wasn't just reflecting culture, it was creating it. And when the Soul Train Music Awards launched in 1987, it solidified its role as more than just a program. It was an institution. But even the most legendary movements can't outrun the inevitable. By the early 2000s, Soul Train was struggling. Ratings were dropping. Younger audiences were gravitating toward new platforms, and Cornelius himself had stepped away, his presence leaving a void that couldn't be filled. And then, in 2006, it happened. Without warning, without explanation, Soul Train disappeared. The show that had ruled the airwaves for over 30 years was gone. But why? What really led to its downfall? Some say it was simply the changing tides of entertainment. Others whisper about internal conflicts, power struggles, and a moment in that final broadcast that hinted at something deeper, something that no one saw coming. Stay tuned, because the truth behind Soul Train's shocking demise is a story you won't believe. Decades of cultural dominance, a stage where legends were born, and a movement that reshaped the music industry. Yet, in the blink of an eye, it all crumbled. Soul Train, once a vibrant force of rhythm and celebration, found itself gasping for relevance as the tides of entertainment shifted. But no one expected the final blow to be so sudden, so irreversible. The moment that silenced a legacy left millions in shock, and even now, the truth behind it remains a topic of endless speculation. For over 30 years, Soul Train was the heartbeat of Black music and culture, a sacred space where artists like Michael Jackson, Prince, and Whitney Houston delivered legendary performances. It wasn't just a show, it was a revolution, a place where talent was nurtured and dreams turned into reality. But by the late 1990s, the industry had changed. Hip-hop had taken center stage, reality talent competitions lured audiences away, and social media was slowly emerging, altering the way people consumed music. Soul Train, the once undisputed king of televised music, struggled to keep up. The magic that once captivated millions had begun to fade. The warning signs were there, but no one expected the storm that was about to hit. Then came the moment that sealed its fate. A performance meant to reinvigorate the show backfired catastrophically. What was supposed to be a bold, modern twist turned into a full-blown scandal. A rising young artist, eager to make an unforgettable impression, pushed the boundaries too far. Live on air, the provocative performance left audiences stunned. Parents were outraged. Social media exploded with backlash, and the network was inundated with complaints. Soul Train, once the epitome of artistic celebration, was suddenly accused of betraying its own legacy. Sponsors began to pull their funding, unwilling to be associated with the controversy. Viewership plummeted, and production costs became unsustainable. The show's already fragile position now seemed irreparable. But the most heartbreaking part? Don Cornelius, the visionary who built Soul Train from the ground up, had to watch his creation unravel from a distance. He had already stepped away years before, but this was different. Reports suggested that he was devastated by the downfall of the empire he had so passionately built. The weight of seeing his dream collapse under controversy was something he never publicly addressed, but those close to him knew the pain ran deep. By 2006, the inevitable happened. Soul Train aired its final episode. No grand farewell, no official explanation, just silence. A show that had defined generations, influenced global fashion, and given Black artists a platform like no other was now history. But can a movement this powerful ever truly disappear? Despite its dramatic end, Soul Train's legacy refuses to fade. The Soul Train Music Awards continue to honor the very essence of what the show stood for, bringing together music legends and fresh talent. From Mary J. Blige to her, these performances keep the spirit of Soul Train alive. Even in fashion, the fearless creativity once showcased on its stage still influences today's trends. The bold colors, the iconic afros, the sequined suits, it all lives on, proving that the aesthetic born on Soul Train transcends time. And let's not forget the digital age, where Soul Train finds itself reborn in unexpected ways. Viral dance challenges, music videos dripping with nostalgic nods to its iconic era, and YouTube compilations that rack up millions of views, all proof that its soul still pulses through pop culture. The Soul Train line, once a weekly television tradition, has been resurrected in weddings, concerts, and social media trends, ensuring that the joy it brought never truly fades. More than just a show, Soul Train was a movement, a symbol of pride, unity, and unbreakable creativity. Though its final moments were clouded in controversy, its impact remains undeniable. The music, the dance, the style, the message, it's all still here, woven into the fabric of entertainment and culture. Because true legends, they never really say goodbye. What are your favorite Soul Train memories? Drop them in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the most iconic moments in music history. See you in the next video!